In a remote village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a fierce and proud samurai named Noboru. Known for his skill with the sword and his fiery temper, he had spent his life defending the village and upholding his honor. Yet despite his strength, Noboru was troubled by an inner turmoil that no battle had ever quieted. He felt an emptiness in his soul, a longing for something he could not name. One day, seeking answers, Noboru heard of a wise monk named Hiroshi who lived in a nearby monastery. It was said that Hiroshi possessed great wisdom and could see into the hearts of men. Driven by his unrest, Noboru decided to visit the monk, hoping to find the peace he sought. When Noboru arrived at the monastery, he found Hiroshi sitting quietly in the garden, his face serene and his posture relaxed. The samurai approached him with a stern expression, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "Monk," Noboru said, "I have heard that you are wise. Tell me, what is the difference between heaven and hell?" Hiroshi looked up at Noboru, his eyes calm and clear. Without a word, he slowly stood and gazed at the samurai, as if measuring his very soul. Then, in a voice filled with disdain, the monk spoke. "You call yourself a samurai?" Hiroshi sneered. "You are nothing but a fool, a coward hiding behind a sword. Your arrogance blinds you, and your heart is filled with darkness. You are unworthy of the title you bear." The word struck Noboru like a thunderbolt. His face flushed with anger, and his hand tightened on his sword. "How dare you insult me?" he shouted, drawing his blade and raising it high above Hiroshi's head. "I will kill you for your insolence." Just as Noboru was about to strike, Hiroshi calmly said, "That is hell." The words froze Noboru in his tracks. His sword hovered in the air, and he stared at the monk, the fire in his eyes slowly dimming. Realization dawned on him like the rising sun. He understood that his anger, his pride, his hatred, they had created a hell within his own heart, a prison of his own making. Trembling, Noboru lowered his sword and fell to his knees before Hiroshi, his head bowed in shame. Tears welled in his eyes as he let go of his rage, feeling it drain away like water from a broken vessel. After a long moment of silence, Hiroshi spoke again, this time with a voice filled with compassion. "And that," he said gently, "is heaven." Noboru looked up at the monk, his vision blurred with tears. For the first time in his life, he felt a deep peace within himself. He realized that heaven and hell were not distant places, but states of mind shaped by his own thoughts and attitudes. The torment he had felt for so long had been his own creation, and the key to his salvation lay within his own heart. With a deep bow, Noboru thanked Hiroshi and left the monastery, his spirit lighter than it had ever been. He returned to his village, not as a warrior consumed by pride and anger, but as a man who understood the power of his own mind. From that day forward, Noboru lived with humility and compassion, aware that the gates of paradise and the depths of hell were both within him, opened and closed by his own choices. And in this awareness, he found the peace he had sought for so long. The villagers, seeing the change in Noboru, came to respect him not just for his strength, but for his wisdom and calm demeanor. They, too, began to understand that the true battle was not fought with swords, but with the heart and mind. And so, the lesson of the gates of paradise became a guiding principle in the village, reminding all who heard it that heaven and hell are not places we go to, they are places we carry within ourselves.